Guys, how's it going? Welcome to our channel, Why Not Now. My name is Steven. This is my beautiful wife, Lisa Marie.
And today we are actually in Plazuela Machado. Plazuela Machado is in the Centro historical area of Mazatlan. As you all know, we are currently in Mazatlan in the state of Sinaloa in Mexico. And we'll just go ahead and show you a little bit across here, which there are quite a few little restaurants and eateries here. This is kind of inspired, from what I understand, like kind of a Venice type look. And it's actually, there's a lot of tourism going on right now. We have the Pulmonias here waiting to pick up people. And you can see behind us, actually, those are groups of all tourists here on the left and on the right. So it's very common. We'll take you on the square really quick and just show you around a bit. It's a very, to me, beautiful day. It's nice and cloudy and cool and breezy, which I'm loving. It's been really hot the last actually week or so. Yeah. It was feeling like 7:30 in the morning. It felt like it was in the upper 80s. Honestly, it was hot and humid. So right now we're getting a refresher. We're getting a little breeze. It looks like it could rain, but I'm loving it right now.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to turn it around and show you Plazuela Machado.
So you have a few restaurants, a little outdoor eateries on the left, as you can see here. They call it kiosco, so this little gazebo type area here in the middle, the center. They have some decorations up, it looks like, on the right. You also saw these similar decorations here, these piñata. They're kind of like a star, really. They don't look like a star, but I think they're like a star. They were actually up in Oaxaca as well. Make sure you check out our Oaxaca videos. We were there for a while, living there. We did apartment tours there, and we showed you the Xochimilco area, the Centro historical area, and you'll see a lot of these similar decorations that are on the right as well, hanging up in Oaxaca City.
Yeah, we were walking around down here. Of course, I came down this way to try to get some ice cream, and I went into one spot and I turned right back around. Like, I was asking them how much for a malteada, a milkshake, a chocolate milkshake. They told me 150 pesos for that.
So give or take $7 and change.
And I was like, nope, nowhere possible. But they say Queretaro is expensive. And I was getting a milkshake over there for 65.
Yeah.
A good milkshake over there for 65.
With some real gelato, and this place is called I think it's Dulce Miami, yeah, that we saw here on Belisario Dominguez, and it's supposed to be, I think, like this artisanal, but yeah, in our opinion, it was very expensive.
Yeah. As my wife was saying, we have a lot of tourists down in this area, and this is Centro, though. It's very historic. Down this way, the Carnival cruise ship come down this way. It's a dock or a port over that way, and they come down here and they have a line of police officers for safety down this way.
Also escort them there, and they're there to make them feel comfortable, give them information. We actually stood an Airbnb out there in Playa Sur in South Beach, and we could actually see the top of the ship. It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing. And then, like my husband mentioned, there's a line, but there's also some kind of like a line lit up in the street, and it guides you at night back to the cruise ship if you were to get lost, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm gonna show you over here. It's a place called Cielo.
Is that Coffee Babe, or is that like a cafe?
It's a cafe. It's like a cafe restaurant. They have sandwiches and things like that in there. Let's see which way my wife would like to go. This is Carnival Street right here.
Let's go over to the right let's get past the tourist crowd. So we're just gonna go ahead and hold the camera and take you guys with us and pass through down here. We even tried another gelato place. I think it was called, was it Helado Sano or
Helado
Sarro?
Sano. I think it was Sano.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was okay. But, you know, we've had better. Definitely in Queretaro, we recommend a gelato place. It's called, oh my goodness, Piacere Italia in Centro.
It's in Centro.
So good.
Yeah. On Cinco de Mayo Street. So I'm going to flip it around so you guys can see what it's looking like. I think that's like a theater or something in there, or a museum, I think. They have little shops and a lot of little things over here. Check out.
So if you keep walking straight this way, you actually get to Playa Sur, right? Because we've walked here before, and it took us straight to Playa Sur.
Yes, I think you can go straight to Playa Sur. But this is the theater. I was wrong. So I think this is the theater room right here. Yep, Teatro de Paralata. But yeah, this area is an area that I would recommend more. I like this area more to me than being in the Golden Zone. So
all have different feels though. It's kind of like there's something for everybody. So in the Golden Zone, Zona Dorada, you'll see there, it's kind of, my husband described it, I think, pretty well. I've never been to Las Vegas, never cared to go, but my husband described it as kind of like a mini, like a baby version. It's really nowhere near it, but a baby version of the Las Vegas Strip. So in Golden Zone, it has like a lot of casinos on the strip, a lot of pulmonias going back and forth, like hamburger places. They have like hot dog carts, and then of course you have the beach. The beach, the actual Malecon runs about 30 kilometers. In that point there is the part where a lot of tourists come in. They stay in the hotels, they stay in Airbnbs, and the high rises over there, and they will go ahead and enjoy the beach, especially around Christmas time, and especially coming up in February, which is actually not too far from us, which is the Carnaval. They do like a lot of banda music, but honestly, they're playing banda music even right now,
every night.
Morning and night. We hear it, so they love their banda.
Yeah, they do. They love their banda. And yeah, I heard that festival is gonna be crazy. They're really hyped about it. They feel good about it. We have tried this spot out right here.
Yeah, we can actually show the inside right there. The door.
We tried this spot out.
Yeah, we're not gonna go all the way in, but you can see.
Looks can be deceiving. Funny that we're walking by there. We actually looked at an apartment over here. Remember, we were telling you guys that we were looking for apartments, and this is one of the apartments we were looking at over in this building. And of course, it didn't work out for us. There's a lot of issues going on with that one.
Well, you know, to be honest, we've seen so many apartments, and we're not going to talk about the details of because we have tips we can give you about the rental culture here. It is very, very different, and I'm not going to get into that now. We can do that in a separate video, but the short of it is we've seen, I want to say, at least 30 apartments in a couple weeks, and there were 5 that we were seriously considering, but every time, and you know, my husband always says it happens for a reason, and I believe he's right. It was kind of like we were forcing it. We had a situation going on where it just didn't pan out, whether it be through the negotiation part, or one, for example, was we were at the table about to sign the contract that the owners were there. Well, the owner already signed it. We were on our end going to sign the contract on our part, and come to find out, I was talking to the owner in Spanish. She said, "When are you going to come?" I said, "I'm going to bring a couple of suitcases first because the cars here are small, and then I'll come with my dogs after moving on Friday." And she was like, "Ay, perritos, no!" And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Oh no, we don't take dogs." So come to find out, the real estate agent, which I'm very, very, you know, when it comes to certain things, I will repeat it a million times. I want to make sure that, you know, if you don't do it yourself, I hate to say it, it's not done right. You know, you can only do what you need done the way you want it yourself, right, to the best of your ability. And when you leave it up to other people, unfortunately, sometimes it's just whatever. But she didn't listen to me, even though I confirmed it with her at least 3 or 4 times, you know, up until the day before on text and conversations. She said, yes, I take pets. Come to find out, she didn't take pets. we had to rip up the contract, and the real estate agent was just like, oh, well, I assume because in the other buildings they took pets that she would take it here too. I'm like, didn't I ask you 4 times to confirm that?
And all she could say was sorry. That was it. But that's
but I think, honestly, I really feel like it happened for a reason, because as we stood here longer, you know, we realized that we don't really like to be hot year round. We don't like humidity year round. We probably wouldn't have enjoyed it. And even though I love the beach, I mean, we go and sit by the ocean, and I love it so much. Hearing the waves is so peaceful. I think about the other obstacles that come with it. It's very much a touristic type city. It's very expensive, and you know, there are other factors I'm not going to get into that, you know, long term, you can like something in the short term as a vacationer, as a visitor, but in the long term, for living day-to-day regular life, it may not be for everyone. So there's something for everybody, and we realized it just wasn't for us.
Yeah, and we also were talking to a local here yesterday, and she was telling us that because we were asking her, my wife was talking to her, and she was asking her, how do locals survive over here? Where do the locals live? And she said they go out to one area in specific, Real de Valle. They call them, how she call them, colonials. They go out to colonials.
It's Real de Valle.
Yeah.
And it is about
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, driving from the main areas with beaches. It's away from the beach, and it can go even further out. And not only that area, but there's another area called Hacienda de Seminario. I'm probably butchering that, I'm sorry, but it's like Hacienda Seminario or Seminario, that is up in the hill.
Yeah.
And they live there. Also in Juarez, so Colonia de Juarez, because the regular folk, they just can't afford to live anywhere near the beach within even 10 minutes because it's just too expensive, which is unfair, I feel.
Yeah, and she was a business owner. And we also talked to another business owner down here that owns a bakery down here. When you guys in Playa Soda, check it out. There's a lot of stuff right here. The bakery is, I think it's called Euro Cafe. Euro
In Playa Soda, yeah.
Bakery, something like that. And she was just saying it's just so expensive over here, because we asking her about rentals and stuff, and she was like, oh, it's just so expensive. She was saying 6,000 pesos was just too much. So it's like, but then we go see these apartments, and they're trying to charge us 14, 15, 13,000. So it's just a shame that the city has to go through that because of the tourism. They said it started changing over here in Mazatlan like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Well, that's what the locals told us. Because I asked, I said, has it always been this way? Because as far as I know foreigners, I know Canadians have been coming to Mazatlan for many, many decades. So I said to her, when did the change start happening with the rental prices? You're not balancing out with the rest of the economy, the income, the income to rental, the income to living overhead ratio. And she said about 2-3 years ago, it's when they really got impacted. She said prior to that, it was más barato, very, very cheap to live here. So something just changed in the last few years, and it's skyrocketed really, really high. And it just doesn't line up with the actual, the salaries. It just doesn't line up, and that's the whole thing about it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If it lines up, it makes sense. But when it doesn't, it just doesn't. And
it's a totally different feel when you go out to those areas we were talking about earlier. But we went out to 1 or 2 of those areas to check out the apartments. It's a totally different feel. As I was mentioning, we're going to show you around in Centro. And I just wanted to show you this real quick because
what's going on?
There's a lot of construction going on down here. And they have these little grates. I don't know where this car thought he was going. In the middle of the street. They say Centro was
it's prone to flooding.
They said it's prone to flooding down here, and I'm just looking like, is it coming from the ocean? Because we're very near the water. The Malecon runs all the way down, and it is beautiful. Once you go check it out, they have the area where you can swim. They have it where these divers, they are diving off in the ocean and everything. Crazy on mine.
We'll probably get footage of that, whether if we put it in this one or in a future video. We'll go ahead and show you that.
Yeah, if we can catch someone diving up there.
But this block actually, as you can see, it's still in Centro Histórico, but it's pretty, look, it's not so pretty to look at. It's very trashy. We actually found one of the rentals that we were about to sign the contract we were just talking about is literally on this
it's right here. It's right here.
On this white building.
This is the rental that we were sitting at the table.
The first floor.
Yeah, it was on the first floor. We were sitting at the table. We were about to sign we signed the contracts and everything. But the real estate agent and everything didn't line up. So things happen for a reason. That was just more of,
It's a blessing in disguise to us now, because we wouldn't. It's better for us.
because we had like 5, like my wife and Miss, we had like 5 of them, where we were right there on the finish line, but it just didn't work out, and it just doesn't add up sometimes, you know. They have these things right here riding around all the time. See, tons of people get on those all the time.
These are actually,
What they called?
these are actually called aurigas.
Aurigas.
There you're gonna see, so they have regular taxis, you'll see the eco taxis, of course you have Uber, which my husband's gonna give you some tips on Uber in a minute here in Mazatlan. You have the aurigas, so it's a shared ride, kind of like you put in, whether it be 100 pesos or 150, they split it amongst the people. I think it's actually, they might charge per person depending on where you're going. But you have those aurigas. Somebody who knows more about how those work, please comment below, because I'm not 100% sure about the pricing on the aurigas, but there's a shared ride. You have the pulmanias, of course taxis, and then Uber, which you've noticed here.
Yeah, Uber over here is kind of flaky. When we first arrived over here, they were saying Uber's available, and I was trying to get the Uber, and every time I was getting the Uber, they were dropping it, and they still drop it from time to time. And someone told me, one of the Uber drivers actually told me, he said change it to cash, because they want everything is cash. And they actually text you that. They message you, is it efectivo or tarjeta? And I'm like, okay, efectivo. Then they come. That's one thing I don't understand over here, but that's the culture over here. They prefer cash. They prefer cash.
But not only for the taxi, for the Uber, for the ride.
Oh, when you ordering as well.
Yeah, if you order food.
When you order food, because we in hotels and we in Airbnb, so yeah, we order food from time to time.
So there are times where our food has sat there and gotten cold because they don't want to pick it up. If you have it set to card and you pay with your card, they just won't come.
Yeah.
And the order will be there for like an hour and a half when it should have been delivered, within 30 minutes. So that's a huge issue, and keep that in mind. So if you come down to Mazatlan, make sure you download not only Uber but also Dany as a backup.
Yeah, but cash with both of them.
Yeah.
Make sure you use cash with both of them. Okay, let me flip it around. Continue to show you. This is what's the name of the street? Belisario Dominguez. Belisario Dominguez. It's a coffee spot up here that we go to, and it's actually pretty good. And we're gonna come across a spot called Panama. Panama's all over the place down here. Someone was saying for their birthday they go to Panama. For just a special occasion they go to Panama. It's a regular day, they want to eat something, they go to Panama.
And so, what Panama is actually, it's a panaderia / pasteleria. So you can get food. It's a restaurant, so you can get like things to eat. You can get some sweets like sweet bread. You can get cake. Yeah. So whatever you pretty much want. So it's like a chain restaurant. A lot of people do love going here, going to that restaurant here. The locals love Panama.
Yeah, they love Panama. Panama's packed. The one over there in the Golden Zone, it's a little bit larger, and of course everybody's in there sitting down eating. And there you go again, guys. For rent signs, that's we recommend you to always look at and check out. That's the best way to find a rental, walking around instead of dealing with like the real estate agents and things like that.
Well, we personally know because we actually dealt with that owner. Yeah. We were gonna do a month-to-month. My husband mentioned this in our last video. If you haven't seen it when we were on the beach, make sure you check that out. That actually, she was asking for around 14,000 for, it was like a shoebox setup. The area is prime in that it's very walkable and you can get to certain things if that's what you want. But you're not, literally at one point, it's like if you stand in your bedroom, it's a glass window. You can look into the other glass window of the other unit. It's really weird, but
and the owner was like, well, everybody has their taste and what they like or whatnot, but I'm telling you, it was like a Motel 6 type setup or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but the reason why he's saying that she said everybody has their taste is because I told her I'm not paying that price. I'll negotiate this price with you maybe month to month, because we were like, okay, maybe we'll stay here for a month and just go from there and figure it out. And that's when she countered with, well, everybody has their taste, because what could she say? We'll set up like a cardboard shoebox.
It didn't even have a living room. The kitchen and the sofa was in the same place. It was a weird setup.
Yeah.
And here we go, renta vacacional.
Oh,
that's all day. I don't think that's it, but that's you see that all day, and that's what they ask you. Is it, do you want a vacational rental, or? And then when you try to say no, I want a regular normal rental, it's a year. They lock you into for a year, which I don't understand. But this is just me speaking. When as foreigners we come over here with visas or however for 6 months or for a year, like. You may not be able to do the entire year, so why not work something out where we can do 8 months or 6 months and things like that. All right, let me turn it around. This is straight up Balazario Dominguez. This is give me a second. This is the Panama spot that I was talking about. This down here in Centro. As you see, Panama, pasteles y pan.
There's multiple in Centro right there.
Yeah, there's tons. And they have sandwiches, cakes, cookies, everything up in there. And that's a popular spot that they love down here. Panama dominates down here in Mazatlan, Sinaloa. And they just have it's historic. You can see, this is the historic center. You see it's a nice setup with the streets, with the like little designs in it and stuff like that. It's actually pretty cool. This is a cafe that we normally go to over here when we're in this area, Allegro Cafe Bistro.
Yeah, we'll take you in, and maybe you guys can go ahead and get some views. Thank you for the coffee contributions. You guys have bought us coffee on our coffee link. We appreciate it. We're gonna go make use of it right now, and then we'll take you down to the beach.
Oh. Came up out of the coffee spot. Nice coffee. Get it right.
What did he get? He loves to have
Mocha Blanco.
His cold coffee, and I get my hot. It could be 90 degrees, and guess what? I'm getting a hot coffee. I know, guys.
It's cold in Mazatlán. It's cold. But
right now it is, yeah.
Yeah. But we walking around Centro, and this is Centro for you. I'm gonna turn it around a little bit. It's not all. It's just decent.
It's a mixture. There's like a small part that's really aesthetically pleasing to the eye, and then the rest kind of looks like kind of like some parts of an abandoned beach. I'll be honest with you. You can tell they've had some struggles when they were trying to come back to life, and they have some parts that are also very beautiful. So it's definitely a mixture.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They have a Woolworth down here. Woolworth. Can you believe it? Woolworth.
I haven't seen a Woolworth since I was a kid in New York. I've never seen it anywhere else.
Yeah, they have a Woolworth down here. Someone told me, finally, a trash can.
It's overflowing though.
Well, here's one right here.
Okay.
Yeah, we were looking for trash cans. That's a big thing to me in centros and cities, like trash cans. I think they help cleanliness. But yeah, we're walking around here and okay, back to the Woolworths. Yeah, I was told to go down to the Woolworth and look for shirts my size and things like that. So, but yeah, we're walking down here to this would be considered, I guess, like the Zocalo or the church area.
It's I don't know. I didn't check into it before we walked over here. I don't know when it was first built.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Let me turn it around so you can check it out.
Wow, look at all those pigeons. Somebody must be feeding them. That's pretty. That color kiosk in the middle. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, let's walk over there.
The flag right there in the wind. It's beautiful.
Let's walk over there and check it out real quick.
Come on, husband. No traffic coming.
But yeah, I do like this vibe down here though, honestly. More than the Golden Zone, more than They would call it what Sabalo over there in the Sabalo area. Lomas de Mazatlán, that's a nice area though. I'll give that neighborhood. That's a nice neighborhood, Lomas de Mazatlán.
That's actually neighboring. Well, isn't it kind of?
It's neighboring Sabalo. Yeah, it's kind of part, but it's neighboring the Golden Zone, but it's going a little bit further out, and that's a nice area.
I think a lot of the people who are come here as snowbirds, they live in these areas. We've learned pretty quickly. Gaviotas. I think it's Los Piñoto. I think it's Pinitos. It's like a part of the beach. They look for those areas. Of course, the Golden Zone, Sabalo country, and
Centro over here too.
Plaza, South Beach, Centros, of course, Cerritos, which is kind of like next to the resort.
Resort area.
What else did we learn so far?
Is it LC?
Yeah.
LC.
I don't know if you say CID or C. We don't know, guys. So.
Yeah. All right, let me flip it around. Actually, pretty cool. Oh, that's a nice looking church. Let's go walk over there and check the church out.
I like this rusty looking color. It's really beautiful.
It's a rustic look. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Really, really beautiful. Okay, so it says here. What does it say? 1927,
2017. Yeah. It's right here. Says 1910.
Oh, there are people in there.
Yeah. Oh, looks like you can walk down up in there. I'm not walking down through there. Look like she was trying to. Okay, and then this is the church. Looks like it's closed.
Yeah.
But we can walk around and
just take a look at the front.
Yeah, just take a look at the front.
You know, we love seeing all the architecture. We've been to so many different cities, and all of them have uniquely beautiful iglesias, churches, right?
Yeah. Aguas Calientes, Leon, San Miguel. Puebla, Cholula,
Tequisquiapan,
Peña de Bernal,
Amialco. We can go on and on and on.
Oh yeah, I like Amialco. I like Amialco. I still, man, that food, I still have that taste. But okay, so we're going down into this is where the Liverpool would be. I guess this would be like a mall area.
Liverpool's kind of like a JCPenney kind of, sort of.
I think it's a step up, like a Macy's. I think it's on that Macy's level.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can go further down that way. And there's a Panama down there again. There's a Woolworth down there. But that's where the Mercado and everything.
I was gonna say right down there when we went down that way, the whole environment changes.
It's flipped. It's flipped. It's like a line you cross, and it becomes more of a local area. And then in the Central, it's more the touristy area.
Yeah.
It's a flip. It's a flip. But yeah, that's a nice looking church, right?
I'm just in awe right now about the weather. I'm so grateful. But let's head on over to show them maybe we'll catch those fishermen out there that were feeding those prehistoric looking birds.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep on going, and we're gonna take you over there towards the Malecon.
Of the Malecon, that is where the embarcadero is, and that is where the fishermen come. This is what we've been told by the locals, that when you want to have fresh seafood, you come to the embarcadero and you come here early in the morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning. That way you know your seafood is fresh. And be careful, because sometimes people will be selling ostiones or oysters and things on the beach, but you don't know how long they've had them out of the water. But over here, if you come here early when they first have their catch fresh out of the ocean here, you will be almost guaranteed to have some good fresh seafood. And as you can see, my husband will show you all of the fishermen boats here, and we'll just stroll down just a bit. And as we mentioned in other videos, they're doing a lot of construction. You're not really seeing it here as much, but man, is Mazatlan doing construction. You can't go anywhere without seeing construction.
Yeah, there's tons of construction over here. And there's, like we always say, is pros and cons to that. Good and bad with that, you know. So that comes, and I don't feel like we need to say any more about that. But yeah, we've seen a couple people come over here, buy fish. And I think when they clean them, they fillet them so quick, guys. They fillet them so quick, and they throw the scraps out to these.
These guys right here, they're out front.
Yeah.
Look at them waiting.
Throw all the scraps, and I'm going to show you there on my head.
these are the guys that we were joking and we call them the prehistoric looking bird because when they're in the air.
Yeah, they look like the pterodactyls.
Yes.
They look just like the pterodactyls. And you see them in the ocean just diving into the water. So, yeah, that's a buzzard or
Really? Oh, wow.
or a vulture. My wife is in awe with birds, man. Like, I'm trying to film and
I'm like pointing.
she just pointing like, oh, do this and get this, get that. I'm like,
and I'm like that with like butterflies and flowers and dogs. You guys know, you've been watching our videos. You know I get excited about all kinds of animals.
And hopefully you hear us pretty well. We're over by the ocean. Wind is gonna be blowing.
Yeah.
I have a wind buffer on and all that, but sorry, I don't have $1,000 mic.
But it is really windy, but we're loving it. It's nice and cool today, like we mentioned earlier. So we are very grateful for the wind right now.
Yeah, we're peaceful.
I want to see how close I can get to this guy right here. If he'll let me get close. What do you think?
I don't know.
Look, your mom says, my mother-in-law, mom always tells me, anytime we actually saw iguana.
Oh yeah, the tree.
Iguana in the tree, like
4 or 5 feet
with
long.
the tail. It was really big. It was huge.
Yeah, with the tail, I'm gonna say it was like 5 feet.
And we saw other iguanas in that same tree in Plaza. We were staying on the Airbnb. It's very, very common there up in the trees. And my gosh, the first thing my mom said was, she's so right. She said, well, don't try to take it home and don't go near it because she knows I'm always trying to go and save, rescue animals and do all kinds of things. And I just, she said, just stay away. Joke, it's a joke to my mom. Hi, Mom.
What's up, Mom?
Look at this guy.
They have the fish over there. You see, they have their catch of the day, I guess.
Are they feeding?
Yeah, I think he's selling them to this guy. He's selling them, and they're just sitting here waiting.
Well, look at the different color beaks because this one has a gray looking beak and the other one has a greenish color.
And
Wow.
it's like some fish is on the ground, like some dead fish on the ground.
I guess they are saying, we don't want the old stuff, give us the fresh
Yeah.
stuff, buddy. What's up, man? Listen, if this guy's mad at you, you're gonna get, for sure will peck you to death with
We're
that
gonna
beak.
get beat to death, beat to death. Yeah. The fishermen come over here and feed them, so that's what they're waiting on. No idea.
Sorry. I know it looks gross, but I'm gonna show you guys. What is that? Does anybody know what that is? What is that? Huh. Interesting creature. Oh, look, baby. Baby, step on that.
Oh, what is that? A lobster head crab?
No, it's like a crab or something. Some kind of crab. I was on the beach the other night, and he was telling me, stop picking up rocks. It's like you can't transport rocks when we're doing our Mexico travels. And I was, I said, okay, I'll just bring one. I collected one. This is my, memory from being in Mazatlan. It's my little purplish rock.
Yeah, Mazatlan, Mexico. It's actually cool over here, though. I admit. But you will run out of things to do. I personally think so. Besides the Malecon, and if it's not like a vacation spot for you, you'll run out of things to do.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, if you're not if you're not a beach person and you go swimming every day, they have like the Faro, the lighthouse. You can go check that out.
Yeah.
Of course.
Stone Island.
Stone Island. There are little islands you can get to. You can do ATV tours and get up like, I guess, one rural area. You can do the Alberca del Mar. So it's actually, we're going to get that on film for you guys.
Try to.
Yeah, I don't know about today, but another day. But they actually have a pool, and it's filled with ocean water. So that's why they call it the pool of the sea of salt, pretty much.
Yeah.
Of the sea. You guys, you know what I'm saying? Trying to say here. Of the sea,
Yeah,
which has salt.
and it has the water from the ocean in it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a rough, choppy day. As you see out there, you see them out there diving, and the water's pretty rough over on this side. But this is peace to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I were to live here, this would be a morning walk for me, a day like afternoon walk. Like that's what I would be doing. I would be out here walking up here, chilling out. I'm not into all that night like partying, drinking, and we don't do all that. So
We have our occasional little cheers, but it's really rare.
yeah.
We have a wine. We got some mezcal. One of our viewers was asking us about a mezcal. They made a comment and said, I wonder if they cracked open that bottle of mezcal.
Oh.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We still have the mezcal announced, our new place, it was going to be Oaxaca, our temporary home base. And then of course we realized it wasn't Oaxaca. But we still have it. We're going to crack it open on camera. When we have a conversation, we'll crack open. We'll enjoy it with you all out there.
Yep, that's what we plan on doing. But we're going to continue walking around, enjoying this time that we have over here. It's peaceful. It's nothing more I can say about it. I don't know.
We'll sign off for now.
Yeah.
And until next time, we'll catch you. Don't forget, check out the apartment tours, check out our cost of living. I have a lot of people that are commenting on the old cost of living that we did, which is perfect. You can check out that cost of living. It was done a little over a year ago when we first got to Mexico, when we lived in Millennium. We have apartment tours, but we have an updated cost of living. It applies to 2021 and really 2022 because it was done at the very end of the year in 2021. So I will link those below in the pinned comment. Make sure you check that out. We also have other apartment tours from Queretaro, a casita tour. We have the Oaxaca apartment tour with some amazing mountain views and a list of pros and cons of that apartment, and much, much more. Temporary residency,
tons of neighborhood tours in Mexico, just everything.
So much.
Yeah.
So check it out, video library. And until next time, we'll see you. Remember, live the life that you